The picturesque town of Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin is the backdrop for one of the biggest motorsports events in the world. For the fourth year, the Sports Car Club of America National Championship Runoffs returns to Road America. Beautiful, fast, and treacherous, this track puts a premium on horsepower, aerodynamics, and bravery. A single mistake can end in disaster, but a single moment of inspiration can turn a contender into a champion. The 49th annual SCCA Runoffs is next on Speedcast TV.
We are ready to go racing in H production. Oh, he turned him. Working the inside is Lee Neffenegger.
He halved the difference. Oh, Spicer trying to hold position.
But he's too much speed. He's wide. Guerrerian trying to do it around the outside.
Now one more for the guys up in the booth.
And welcome to the 49th running of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Coverage on SpeedcastTV.com, presented in HD by Volkswagen. I'm Jim Trado, along with Dorsey Schrader. And Dorsey, we're talking about speed. We're talking about a brand new record set in qualifying. We're under 2 minutes now in club racing at Road America.
It's never been done before. The talk of the paddock is about this car Scott Tucker is about to show us in a drive. It has lapped here at 1:55. We haven't seen that yet. We saw him in qualifying run down a number of 58.9, but the conditions right now are absolutely perfect to break the all-time under 2 minute barrier here at the Runoffs.
We see it's overcast. We're guessing maybe the temperature sneaking into the low 50s.
Yeah, that's about what it feels like out there right now. It's good for turbocharged cars. That is a turbocharged 600cc engine in that D Sports Racer, and it is blindingly fast. Fastest car here ever as far as a Runoffs competition.
He did it in qualifications. Also, he had Colin Braun shake the car down early in the week, so Scott Tucker is certainly concerned about one thing, and that's the gold medal. We have a couple of things to accomplish, including getting updates on pit road all race long from John Bizignano. Hey, Biz, what's going on at D Sports Paddock in the false grid?
Well, Jim, let me tell you, this is something you don't see a sight of very often. There are no tires anywhere on our 55 pole position. This is Scott Tucker's third race of the weekend, and he says this is the prototype. This is the fastest car he's driven. Where are his tire and wheels? Well, we're just going to walk down here, about 25 feet. They're not going to take him too far away. As soon as that 5-minute board comes up, you're going to find a bunch of people handing tires over this fence. There's one of the men right there that's going to be handing tires over the fence. What temperature are you trying to keep the tires at, guys?
About 1 million.
About 1 million. Well, that's a lot of grip right there at 1 million. But the idea is that to keep the tires as warm as possible so that when they get on the car, he doesn't have to scrub them in so much. And actually, the tire pressures are so low if they were absolutely cold that he couldn't run the car whatsoever. The tire would actually destroy itself. So in the back of that pickup, underneath those tire blankets, you have, I might just crawl in there right now and lie down underneath those nice warm blankets. But again, Scott Tucker does not spare any expense with this perfect team, perfect car, and what should be an excellent result.
Very fast racer, and he's got a lot of track time this week. And I'm wondering, Dorsey, the STO gold medal he won with, is there anything that can correlate to the speeds and the excitement he'll have behind the wheel of this car?
No, not really. This is the hardest cornering car you could possibly get into. The G-forces it pulls in the corners are unbelievable. It's just a full aero package, and we have been just completely aghast at how fast this car is. You talk about Colin Braun helping shake it down. Well, his father, Jeff, is who is engineering that car. Jeff Brown works for Scott Tucker in his pro racing thing. Great engineer. You couldn't have better people than what he's got on this car.
Notice we have no Biz in the camera. He's now under that blanket.
No, he might have got sucked down the air intake there. I'm not sure.
We verified. But look at how exotic this West car is.
Well, they all are, really. I mean, the stores, which came in some years ago, took over this class completely, and that car was, in its own right, just unbelievable. For this car to be faster than that, it's blindingly quick, I'll tell you.
Well, Scott Tucker's official lap in qualifying, again, he went a bit faster in one of the pre-runs, but his official lap in qualifying, 1 minute, 58.99 seconds. That's an average speed here at Road America on this 4-mile lap, 121.011 miles per hour. So that's crazy fast.
With an under 1 liter engine, and you're talking about 600cc engine, then it's unbelievable how fast these cars are. Most of those cars have motorcycle 1000cc Suzuki engines in them that are non-turbocharged, normally aspirated. You'll see that this is a very lightweight car, 800 pounds. That's less than my Harley.
Hey, Biz has a few things more from under the blanket.
Say, Dorsey, I wanted to ask you, you spoke earlier about, the weight of paint. Now, as you can see on Scott Tucker's car, the car is fully painted, but if you just come back to the second place car, as you can see, it's the pure carbon fiber of the entire bodywork that's showing through here. Now, what I understand is that to paint a car totally can add about 60 pounds to the weight of that car, and they try and get so far down to the minimums that some cars go virtually unpainted and partially painted, as you can see in the number 3 qualifier. Let's go back. Let me show you one more thing, Dorsey. Look at this wing, man. There's a lot of design in this wing. As you can see, the airfoil is underneath. This is so that the air crossing along this airfoil actually creates a suction force holding down the back of the car, but they have it as flat as possible. It's just in the flattest setting possible for all these really fast straightaways here at Elkhart Lake. Dorsey, maybe you could just talk to him a moment about the weight of the paint and trying to trim this sucker out to go as fast as possible in a straight line.
Biz, you're absolutely right. You don't see many of those cars ever get painted because the minimum weight is so low. It's hard to achieve an 800-pound car. And that weight at 60 pounds, that's a big chunk of weight to put on it. So most of these guys run pure carbon fiber, like you see the 58 car right there, to keep that weight to a bare minimum. Here come the tires out of the warmers. They're going to stick them on. You see there the stickers. They've got the stickers still on them. On Scott Tucker's car, it's imperative to get this down to the minimum weight because you're not running with a lot of engine, not a lot of horsepower. For that car to work the way it works, it's the lightest car in the field without doubt. Like I say, it weighs less than a big motorcycle does, and you have to have it at minimum weight. Trimmed out is what he's talking about there. The body itself makes downforce, and the air going under the body creates ground effect. So these wings at the back, they've got them pretty flattened out. Their whole idea is to get down the straightaway fast as can be. You don't want to do much scrub because 1,000 cc or under 1,000 cc engine, you're talking about under on 200 horsepower.
And they're all Suzuki engines. We have to point that out. The turbocharger is on the pole sitter, but I believe all the other engines in the class, including last year's pole sitter, Lee Alexander, the third car in that line we showed you, his car, I think, was inspiration for one of the Batmobiles in the new Batmobile in the Batman series, the way these cars are so exotically shaped. But he actually has a Suzuki motor as well. So all the cars are powered by Suzuki motorcycle engines, but you mentioned lower horsepower, yet a little bit higher speed than the CSR class we saw earlier today.
You're allowed to do modifications to the engines. A lot of guys just run a stock Suzuki, 1,000 cc motorcycle engine. That puts out about 138, I think, maybe 40 horsepower. But you can tweak it and get it up to near 200. The problem with that is then you lose your reliability, and a lot of times you'll see these engines expire before the race.
We have 3 drivers in the field that have had a chance to put a gold medal around their neck. But last year, Dorsey, this race, a couple of front runners had issues. So these cars can be a little bit fragile when it comes to the mechanical side of things.
Well, once again, when you get something that light, when you try to get a car to be down to 800 pounds, you use the very least amount of material as possible. The Heim joints are really tiny. All the suspension bits are just made as light as can be. And when you do that, there's failures.
And indeed, Lawrence Loshak was one of the cars that had suffered some issues last year, as did Chris Farrell, who will start on the front row here today. The SCCA National Championship Runoffs bringing the best of the best together in an annual appearance here at Road America for the 4th straight year. The National Championship Runoffs feature the best club racers from around the country. They race in their regional and division runs, and when it comes to their best 7 races, that gets them in the classification to qualify for the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. These cars had 3 different sessions to qualify in, one Wednesday morning, one Wednesday afternoon, and then again on Thursday, as Lawrence Loshak pulling in late into the grid. That's been a while ago. That's a couple of days ago. It's a couple of 20, 30 degrees ago, Dorsey.
Yeah, and
how's that going to play?
Yeah, it can play with some guys more than others. Scott Tucker has run in 3 different races, so I mean he's had track time in other cars, so I think he's in good shape. And some guys haven't been on track in a couple of days. I'll be quite honest with you. If that car of his runs properly, doesn't have any mechanical issues, this should be a runaway, no doubt about it. That is just the next step in evolution. That West that Tucker drives, it is really fast.
We got to look at Lawrence Loshak, who again pulling late in the grid. He may have the same scenario with Tucker, just not on grid, where he came up late with perhaps some heated tires he bolted on the last moment when the 5-minute whistle blew.
It is cool outside. It might be in the 50s now, but just barely at that. We don't have, and we also have a pretty good wind that cools the racetrack off also.
That red and black number 7 Loshak right in the middle of your frame there. As we look at all these cars, man, one is prettier than the next, aren't they? This is the D Sports Racer category here in the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. Only 3 medals are awarded. The rest get a handshake, perhaps some manufacturing money, and they might get some contingency awards, but really the camaraderie is here, and the best of the best are here in the SCCA National Championship Runoffs.
This class, what used to be a home-built class, I mean, guys would go in the garage and they would design their car and they would build a car using motorcycle engine or whatever. That has all changed when the store came out, and a lot of guys are against it because it's made this class an extremely expensive class to try to compete in.
C Sports Racer, a longer history. D Sports Racer, you mentioned smaller horsepower, but again, those speeds are created with all this bodywork. 5 different chassis manufacturers. We got a glimpse of that number 97 at the back of the grid. That's Richard Colburn. Richard Colburn's car is actually a Nestendo chassis, the only one in the field that perhaps harkens back to the pre-store era of DSR.
Yep, and it changed a lot. Like I say, there used to be some real different designs and stuff. You can tell different guys that tried things in the garage and built their own cars, and that was the spirit of this class. It was one of those type of classes, a lot of camaraderie, but when the store came along as a production DSR, it changed the whole thing, and it obsoleted all those backyard creations.
Now, pulling these bodies off, can these still be running different classes as open-wheel cars?
Now, these cars are
all right.
Only one thing they can do with that being that light like that.
Got a good glimpse as they pull off the false grid here onto the track. 13 laps or 40 minutes to determine our national championship here in the 49th running. Next year, it's going to be back at Road America. They've already announced it, the 50th annual running of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs for next year. You've got to be here if you're not here with us and you're watching on speedcasttv.com, not in the paddock somewhere, but at home. We thank you for tuning in. We also encourage you to get your butt here next year because it's going to be a dandy event. We're seeing a lot of great racing all weekend long, 28 different classes, and this is the fastest among them. As they pull on track, you can see the starting grid across the top of your screen on the speedcasttv.com coverage presented in HD by Volkswagen. We'll look at the front row. It's going to be Scott Tucker, that ultra-fast car, under 2 minutes in qualifying. He's out of Overland Park, Kansas, in the number 55 West Race Cars Hoosier Shod West chassis. It's a 670 turbo engine. Again, the new track record, fastest ever club track lap turned here at Road America in qualifying. Starting second to his outside, the number 58 of Chris Farrell out of Salt Lake City, Utah, in the C&M Manufacturing GDR Engines Hoosier Tire Shod store chassis. He qualified second a year ago, but only lasted 5 laps. So again, the fragility of this whole deal, if that's a word, is he had unfortunately mechanical issues that sidelined him last year in the runoffs. Last year's pole sitter Lee Alexander starts third in the number 48 out of Las Vegas, Nevada, the Factory 48 Motorsports APE Race Parts store. Last year he was a silver medalist. Unfortunately, he was not able to capture the gold, but he did indeed have a very fast race car. We'll see if he repeats here as a medal winner. Starting fourth, the number 7 of Lawrence Loshak from nearby Grafton, Wisconsin. It's a northern suburb of Milwaukee. And the ETE Reman Moon Supercycle Goodyear store. 2-time gold medalist, Central Division champion, looking for vindication because he pulled on pit road as one of the front runners a year ago and DNF'd as well. Starting fifth, the number 33 of Greg Bell, Metcalf, Ontario, the Door Company Young Racing store. Last year he started 9th, had run up to 2nd by lap 6, but he also suffered mechanical failure. So again, we'll watch these cars for a full 13 laps to make it to the finish. Starting 6th, the number 64, Jim Hallman is the driver out of Kitchener, Ontario. The store chassis is 4th in the Southeast Division this year. He finished 6th here last year, his best effort in 11 prior runoffs. Starting 7th, the number 32 of Kirk Kinsfader of Easton, Colorado. The Ortho Center rookies, K&N Arms Up Speeds chassis, the only Speeds chassis in the field. He is the Rocky Mountain Division champion with 6 wins this season and 7 races. Starting 8th, the number 36 of Tom Boots of Evansville, Indiana. The Hoosier Havoc Motorsports Boots Industry store. He is the defending gold medalist of this class, only posted a qualifying time Wednesday morning this week. He did not go out and participate in any other session, so we'll see what kind of speeds Tom Boots has saved up for this 13-lap race. Starting 9th, the number 78 of Dave Knack of Neenah, Wisconsin. Milwaukee Region Racer in the Goodyear Tire Moons Supercycle store. Central Division, he finished 3rd this year with 1 victory, 3 top 5s in 4 races, and this is his 6th time at the runoffs. Starting 10th, the number 71 of Matt Graham of Greeley, Ontario, Canada. Young Racing Critter chassis, CSR1. 34 years of age, Southeast Division champion, had 7 top 5s in 7 races this season in club racing. We move to row 6, starting 11th, the number 54 of Jim Vogel of Madison, Wisconsin, in the Vogel Investment Store chassis. Last year he qualified 14th, who had finished 9th, and this is his 2nd time, or 3rd chance really, at a top 10 finish. He's recorded 2 top 10 finishes already in just 2 appearances at the runoffs. Now we go back to that interestingly shaped number 97 of Richard Colburn. He'll start 12th. The Sunshine Metals Nestendo chassis. He's 69 years young. He's the Great Lakes Division champion. 8 top 5s and 9 races in that car that will start 12th. And starting 13th at the tail of our field, the number 18 of David Lockie of Lafayette, Indiana. His store chassis has had some history. His first runoffs a year ago produced a 5th place finish for Lockie, who again will start 13th on the grid in D Sports Racer.
Well, if we don't have a lot of cautions in this race, these 13 laps are going to go by incredibly quick. potential for under a half hour total time in this race if we have a green situation.
A lot of these cars, again, the adjustability on them, they've got those wings where they want to get them. The tires, some are half enclosed, some are really sleek body style, some have just the plain old carbon fiber as they got them out of the factory. We'll see how that plays out. Again, Steve Tucker, the pole sitter, Scott Tucker, excuse me, has had the pole all weekend, really, with the fastest speeds in the number 55. He'll pull out to the early lead as we get a green and D Sports Racer.
And he just takes off, sets sail. Well, everybody else will be in Class B, if you will.
That reminds me of Jim Clark starting the first rear engine race down here at the Milwaukee Mile. He actually had a lead, track record lead, and walked them. Perhaps the industry's changing here with this turbocharged engine under Tucker's cowling now, that really showing the way on the opening lap here at D Sports Racer.
It is the first turbocharged engine I've seen run, so it's pretty impressive, to say the least. 600, a little over 600 cc's against 1 liters. You know, got 670 cc's turbocharged and 1,000 cc normally aspirated.
Well, they're not settling down just yet. They're still looking for the second position. That's Lawrence Loshak in that red and black number 7 running in 4th. You look to the inside here, is a bit wide, was the 48 of Alexander. Alexander's that silver, red, and black machine in 3rd right now.
These generate tremendous grip. Cornering forces here are just quite amazing. Trouble down in turn 5.
71 is Matt Graham, the 64. Jim Holloman, they started 6th and 10th respectively.
It's like they got together down there. Oh, we got some smoke coming out, unless it was tire lockup. Kind of not sure. Might have just been tire lockup. And the way these envelope bodies go, you know, the smoke comes out and it looks like you can't tell where it came from.
On the opening circuit, through the carousel, down to the kink. Tucker leading the number 58 of Chris Farrell. Farrell, the green cowling.
And he's not checking out like I thought he would. I really thought he'd be long gone by now, but so far an interesting run.
Tucker, Farrell, Alexander, then Loshak, your top 4 through turn. Right up here through the Billy Mitchell bend here, through Kettle Bottoms.
Got into the curbing a little bit too much down there in Canada and had to get out of the throttle.
And Tucker, while he had an early start and a surge up to turn 1 for the lead, we'll see how he does here on the top end.
Yeah, it's got some power going up the hill. Perfect weather for turbo. Got nice, brisk, cool air.
Completing lap 1, we can see the top end really come into play here for our race leader, Scott Tucker. And if you just joined us, he's the first driver ever to qualify under 2 minutes in club racing here at Road America in SCCA competition.
Tire pressure still coming up. That was a slow lap. 207.80 for Tucker. 208s for about everybody else.
Farrell and Loshak are in the middle of their sandwiches. Lee Alexander, who again the silver medalist from a year ago.
Like John was saying at the beginning when Biz said, but until these pressures get up, these cars don't run much ride height. You can literally be just sitting there on the ground in the first lap or two. This is going to be a great race for second here.
Lee Alexander
he's
inside.
Lock up and spin.
Farrell locks up under braking, taking Loshak wide.
Oh, he took his wing off. Tried to go around him, but he didn't lock his brakes up when he was rolling backwards. He rolled right into the car trying to avoid him. And that takes the wing completely off.
Wow, what a hard lesson learned by Chris Farrell. Under braking to his inside. He had a challenge from Alexander and locked him up on entry.
All he had to do is lock his brakes up and not roll back. He'd have been okay, but he let go of the brake and rolled right back in.
The concern now for Loshak, perhaps his left rear wing plate may have some damage.
Yeah, it's gone. It's knocked it completely off, I think.
Alexander's got knocked up, but Loshak's the one that gave him the glancing blow.
Yep.
And he's still on course, running in the 3rd spot.
We haven't seen that car's back end yet. Here we take a look at it now. Yeah, he looks like he's all right. He might have got away with that one.
Staying in close quarters now with Lee Alexander running in 2nd and 3rd.
You don't want that wing to come loose. I guarantee you while you're driving. I had it happen in a Formula Atlanta car. I mean, if it were to turn upward, it would lift the car completely off the ground. Unlike an airplane, these wings are forcing the car to stay on the ground, but if you change the elevation, it would fly, especially at 800 pounds.
I stand corrected. That black and yellow machine is the defending race winner, Tom Boots, up from the 8th position. When Loshak went wide, a couple of cars got underneath him in turn 5. That is Tom Boots again, coming up the hill ahead of Loshak under the Caterpillar Bridge.
Loshak tucked up in the draft. He's thinking about makes a pop to the outside. It was very close.
Now, as thin as these tires are, that was a very abrupt move. That caused a lot of abrasion, a lot of friction across the surface.
You got to watch it. You don't spin. We're getting close to that 2-minute barrier. Second lap, Tucker went down to a 2:01.7. Everybody else is 2 seconds slower. That's about what qualifying numbers look like.
Loshak inside turn 3 again, taking a look on boots.
Boy, he runs really close up underneath the back of that car to get the slipstream.
Loshak's story is interesting. He went from E-Prod as a gold medalist to buying a store chassis and racing a DSR, and he won in 2010.
Yeah. And here's Loshak trying to take a look to the inside. He's not really close enough to do anything yet.
We just took a look on pit road. Chris Farrell is in on pit road. Just took the rear wing off the car.
Boy, now this should be interesting handling.
Ooh, boy. Well, the wing is set extremely low, so it may or may not be.
Yeah, he'll know right away what he's got there when he gets back out. It's better to have it gone than to have it changing its angle and moving around, that's for sure.
Well, Lee Alexander shown here breathing a bit easier. The number 48 machine out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Southern Pacific champion. Trying to do one better than his silver medal of a year ago.
Now you can see Tucker is gone. Not even in the same frame. Soon not to be in the same county.
This is the battle for third. The final medal. Tom Boots in the black car with the yellow accents. And Lawrence Loshak now through the kink.
For Scott Tucker right now, I know he wants to break that 2-minute barrier, so that's what his mindset would be right now. He's trying to get a good clean lap in. There's a spin.
It's Farrell down the bottom of turn 5. Apparently he needed a little more than that to get to braking.
That answers the wing question.
Could he have a hung-up brake? I mean, if you hard on the brakes that hard to spin, could that be an issue that may haunt you in the same spot?
Nah, he should be all right. He just is really unbalanced now with no rear wing. It's got no rear grip. And he will probably think better of driving around here and call it a day soon, because I've tried to drive without a wing before too. It just doesn't work.
Last year, unfortunately, Farrell had an issue 5 laps into the race and DNF'd. And I would think a year later, he's thinking back to, I need to vindicate that. I need to do everything possible to finish. And unfortunately, with that slight error entering turn 5 on the opening circuit, running in third, Farrell spun. Loshak clipped that rear wing as he carried on.
Yeah, had he locked his brakes up, he'd have been okay. He just had a simple spin, but by releasing the brake, he rolled back in.
Dorsey, let's take one more look at that spin inside into turn 5.
And the trouble here, he's in too deep. That's not a problem too. I mean, he spins, locks up the back. Watch now. He doesn't lock his brakes up. He just keeps rolling, and he rolls right back into the car, taking his wing off.
Back to live action on SpeedcastTV.com.
So when you spin out, you want to lock the brake up and keep the car locked up so everybody around it knows where it's going to go. If you release the brake and it just starts wandering around on the racetrack by itself, it will hit something.
That's the battle for 6th unofficially. Jim Vogel running in the 6th position. We're getting word now that Loshak is off the pace from 3rd.
Yeah, we don't see Loshak.
Lee Alexander is running in 2nd. The race leader is long gone. It's Scott Tucker in the number 55. There's Loshak up. He pulled in the pits.
Yeah,
that's as far as he got.
He got it back on pit lane, but you're right. That's oh, here's trouble too. I think another spin. Yeah, that was just down the bottom of the hill, and it's continued. Didn't hit anything. I think it was at the 7. No, that's Loshak.
Loshak pulled in again. Last year he had some issues mechanically, and this year again we've talked about how fragile these race cars are, as light as things are running.
71, that's who it was.
That's Matt Graham.
Had a spin all by himself down there in turn 3 area.
Started the 10th position out of Greeley, Ontario, Canada. He's the Southeast Division champion, however.
Kept his engine running and will continue on with the race. Didn't hit anything. That was good. 3 is actually one of those areas where it's wide open. There's nothing to hit down there. You can get away with a spin. There's
our race leader.
We just broke the 2-minute barrier. Like we said it could happen, it just did happen. 1:59.991 is a new all-time speed record here in the runoffs.
Scott Tucker, the race leader, just went under 2 minutes in race competition. An amazing run. Contrasting what Tucker's done all week long, we talked about Matt Graham just spinning into turn number 3. Graham's not been here before. It's been 2 days since he's been on the racetrack. While he has the credibility and the accreditation of being the Southeast Division champion, how difficult is it, Dorsey, coming to a track this big, this fast, and these kind of cars for the very first time?
Well, it depends on your experience level, but certainly, not being on the track for a couple days to a new guy, it will affect him a lot more than someone who, has done a lot of miles around here, I should say. Tucker, like I say, was running in third. He's been running in several classes, so he's been on the racetrack all weekend long. Plus, he's a semi-pro, if you want to call it that. He runs American Le Mans Series, drives a lot. There's no driver in the United States that gets more seat time than Scott Tucker. He has more seat time in cars than anybody there is.
There's an Escort Speed Zone sign in the turn 5 area, and Greg Creamer, our broadcast counterpart, was working corners down there during one of the practice sessions for D-Sports Racer, he said the trap speed for Scott Tucker earlier this week was 175 miles an hour into turn 5.
And see, that's just unheard of. I mean, not very many years ago before the store came out, like I said, those cars were very going 130 maybe, you know. But nowadays, that's the fastest race car that there is. And it's faster than Formula Atlantic, and I hate that, being that I used to be a Formula Atlantic guy.
This is a West chassis trying to outdo those store cars, and it's against Scott Tucker, who already has captured gold here at the Runoffs here at Road America in 2012. Winning the STO category for the 2nd straight year. Now trying to add to that a gold medal here in D-Sports Racer. Working lap 5 of 13 here at Road America, America's national park of speed.
A little slower for Tucker that lap, 2 minute flat or 2 minutes .3.
Perhaps they radioed to him, said, hey, you got the record. What do you think? You want to pace it now?
Yeah,
it's only a second different. I doubt it.
I think he'd go into the 58s or something. He qualified at 58.90, or 58.50, I should say. So he's run faster than this. But again, this racetrack has really changed over the weekend because every night we've had rain, including last night. More rain last night. It keeps washing the rubber off. And then with these extremely cold temperatures in the morning, I don't think the racetrack's getting rubbered up. I don't think it's getting much grip to it at all. I mean, we're in the 50s now, but just barely. And they're talking about tonight maybe going into the 20s.
Get a good look here at Jim Vogel making his way through to turn 14. Currently running the 6th position out of Madison, Wisconsin. The Vogel Investments store chassis from 2008 is when he got his store chassis. He's in the 5th position now as Scott Tucker continues to lead at D-Sports Racer. We're going to step away, take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll see if indeed Scott Tucker can continue his domination here in D-Sports Racer. He's going through the carousel with no one in the mirrors. Tucker leads in D-Sports Racer here at Road America. We'll be back in moments. Stay with us.
This portion of the SCCA Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, and by Black Magic Car Care Products.
The Mazda 3, a top safety pick with uncompromised performance. And now it's even more fuel efficient with available SkyActiv technology. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Now get the Mazda 3 with 0.9% APR for a limited term.
Need help?
Yeah. Well, my ride's been losing power and gas mileage, and I've been thinking about grabbing...
That's thinking with your motorhead. Gum-Out products are backed by science, real science. So they help improve performance, increase fuel efficiency, and protect key engine parts. It's not clean until it's Gum-Out clean. Bring it in. Think with your motorhead. Choose Gum-Out, available at these fine retailers.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.
And indeed, Scott Tucker continues to lead here in the 49th running of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. The run for the gold, Tucker up the hill, completing lap number 7 of 13. In coverage on SpeedcastTV.com, presented by Volkswagen in high definition. Dorsey Schrader sitting next to me. I'm Jim Trado. John Bizignano under a blanket on pit road. It's very cold out there, and Biz has been here for 17 years covering the pits for us here at the Runoffs. And indeed, I think he'll be talking to a driver who's most likely going to be Scott Tucker, but you never know. There was 3 or 4 really strong contenders here that are not in the picture. 2 of them are on pit road. And unfortunately for those young racers, Chris Farrell and Lawrence Loshak specifically, their races have come to a premature end.
Scott Tucker lapping very consistently. He went a 2-minute .3 last lap, a 2-minute .2 this lap. So just right at the 2-minute mark. We know that car is capable of some 4 to 5 seconds faster, but again, this racetrack is not probably in the fastest condition with all the rain we've had every single day and so forth, and the coolness outside.
There's a lot of cars on track all the time. The morning practice sessions and midday races, and then there's practice. Their qualifying session will set the final classes for Sunday yet to come this afternoon.
Then it rains at night, and you got to start all over again. You know?
There's Lee Alexander. He had a bit of an off and back underway as the number 48 in the silver medal position now. He remains in second. In the Factory 48 Motorsports machine, the SOPAC champ again.
No damage
10
done.
races this year. He had 6 victories. And again, Alexander on pole last year to a silver medal. So comfortable here at Road America.
Didn't flat spot a tire, he'll be in good shape. He hadn't hit anything, and these cars are really light, so they don't. They're not prone to.
But as stiff as these car doors, if he has a flat spot, it would feel like he's driving over a gravel road.
You can see them when they hit bumps. You can see. Just look at the driver's helmet and see how much they get pummeled. There's not much suspension in these, and that's really dark skies the way it looks on the camera. We could be getting some wetness here again pretty soon. It could be snow too, as close as it.
Well, that would cause a huge challenge for these racers. Again, all on slicks. There was some precipitation here this week, but primarily in the evening after track time, after track went cold. So we mentioned that weather is in the area. Perhaps the forecast actually earlier this week was for rain all day today. So fortunately, we've got a clean track for these
luckily for
these racers.
It hasn't happened, but he has been in the snow in the pits before. All right, there goes a good 159.80. That's what he's qualified at, a little bit faster actually. 59.8 is now another new track record.
The fastest lap turned. Scott Tucker did it in qualifying. He had a 58.9. Qualified at a 58.594 in his 2 session runs that were fastest among anyone, and fastest ever here at Road America in club competition. Alexander now going through turn number 3 under the Sargento Bridge next for him.
Saw him hit a bump right there and get a little jolt. This battle's still ongoing.
The 64 is Jim Hallman running in 6th. Dave Knack is running 7th. This is Jim Hallman's 5th attempt at the National Championship Runoffs. Looking for his 3rd top 10 finish. He finished 6th here a year ago. Did Hallman, holding off Knack for the time being out of Neenah, Wisconsin.
Well, it is dark back down there. That's the other thing about a 4.5-mile track is that you can, when this weather comes in, you can have one part of the racetrack be wet and the other track dry. I drove won a Trans Am race here. We're down at Cannon Corner. It was pouring down rain, but it wasn't pouring down rain when we went through the carousel. So by the time we got down there, it was like, oh boy.
Wow. Here's our 3rd place car, our defending race champion, Tom Boots, B-O-O-T-Z. Boots racing here in the 3rd position, looking for another medal. 60 years of age, out of Evansville, Indiana. Midwest Division champion, currently in the bronze medal position.
Good looking car.
He and Loshak were going at it hammer and tongue before Loshak had issues. And the Loshak, the local racer, no doubt has a lot of laps this season trying to prepare for the runoffs here, and his run came up short. That leaves Boots all alone in the 3rd position.
Boots' car a little bit oversteery. It was a little loose in that last one right there again. Steps out just a bit. Real free at the back, I'd say.
Boots had a bit of a challenge last lap. He lost 4 or 5 seconds to Alexander. Don't know exactly where, but his lap time is certainly reflective of slower speeds and lost a lot of time to second. Working lap number 10 of 13 here. This is Tom Boots.
Okay, I really
he
like
kind of got a little loose on the rear there.
Yeah, he's been doing that. That's why I said the car's a little free at the back. Really like that they've gone to this motorcycle Suzuki engine. You know, it turns a lot of RPM. These sound really good. They're really fast. They look neat. You know, this thing's up to over 9,000 RPM. Hearing a report that our leader, Scott Tucker, might be having a leak of some sort. Yeah, puking some sort of fluid.
Right out of the center of the car, right where that yellow sticker is.
Yeah, that could be an overheat situation where it's starting to, you know, to push some water out.
Just to the right of the center upright for the rear wing.
Boy, and we got 4 more laps to go.
Longest 4 laps in his life, potentially. Look at this. If it continues to spray, that obviously is necessary fluid for inside the motor.
Yeah, and that's a high rev and turbocharged engine. Believe me, once it's cooling. That was just debris on the track. He ran over there and spit out.
So we're watching the rear tail of our race leader. Comfortably in the lead is Scott Tucker here in the black number 55.
Just ran a 59.60. He's approaching his fastest times. 58.50s that he ran. A little bit slower. I don't know if he knows what we're looking at there.
Well, no doubt we got word from the corner workers on course, and our SpeedcastTV.com camera crew obviously on it as well, looking to see if that fluid that we saw obviously coming out of the rear of the exit of turn 5 we haven't seen it since then, I don't think, in great degree.
I think I'm more worried about the fluid about to come out of the sky the way it looks out there.
Well, we're working lap 10, completing 10 here. This is your race leader, Scott Tucker.
This racetrack, like I say, at the length, it can just catch you out by pouring in one corner and not anywhere out. You know, the corner workers here, at their total mercy. We always talk about how good the corner workers are here. You know, they would be giving you the slippery flag. You better pay attention to them when it gets like this outside.
Just a hair over 2 minutes that lap time. Now coming up on the backside of 9th place running Richard Colburn in that yellow number 97. The 69-year-old racer, the Sunshine Metals Nestendo machine, was the Great Lakes Division champion this year. Moved on up to the championship out of the Cincinnati region. Now moving aside under the Sargento Bridge for our race leader, Scott Tucker, to go past.
Well, I'm impressed with this Turbo 670. I'll tell you that. It's a new engine combination, and it definitely shows to have good power.
Onto the Chevy Bridge, the Corvette Bridge here, and look at that. We don't see anything coming out the back this time.
Whatever it was, it's not there anymore.
Coming up now to challenge Matt Graham, the number 71 machine, running in the 8th position. He's running a pace about 8 seconds slower than Tucker per lap.
Graham
He's
off
way
the
out.
road, yeah. Graham exited at 8 and got out in the grass.
Shot a bit of dirt on the racetrack as well upon re-entry.
Yeah, I saw that back there. It's further down the road off the corner, so it's not too bad of a deal. Here's some smoke in a bad place to have smoke. That's the carousel going into the kink.
So Graham moves
somebody's
aside.
blowing up.
Yep, it's a long, slow process for some car ahead of our race leader, Scott Tucker.
You got to watch out for oil on this racetrack and those kind of places. It sounds like it's the 78 car that we were talking about that has an engine problem of some sort.
That's the
Dave
local racer
Knack.
out of Neenah, Wisconsin, that silver, black, and blue machine, the number 70 of Knack now reportedly having the issues. From 7th.
Could not be engine at all. It might be a suspension problem from what they're saying. It's more of a tire smoke than it is engine.
And Knack 2 laps ago, issues with what we saw was something spewing out the backside of a race leader's car. Does not have issues now.
There we go. You can take a good look at this car as it comes at us.
The car, the body looks like it's a bit off. Yeah. I'm just trying to see if that's indeed just tire smoke.
I think it is tire smoke. I don't know. No.
Center and left is where the smoke's coming out of, Dorsey.
I wouldn't want to be behind it, neither is Mr. Tucker.
Gentleman moved there by Dave Knack, the number 78.
I think he's got a left rear down. These cars are so light with a flat tire, they don't really go flat. You know, there's not enough weight on the tire to push it down, honest God. And I think what he's got is a punctured left rear.
All right. Unfortunately for Dave Knack, again running in the 7th position until this misfortune.
The downforce will push it down hard enough to make it do something, but the car itself doesn't weigh very much.
There's Graham going by.
You're splitting 800 pounds between 4 tires. There's not a lot of load on it.
Could definitely see something wiggling there in the left rear. That could be the tire shifting around without any air in it.
Yeah, I think he's got a puncture over there.
Now look at the man who's been dominant, making headlines this week at the SCCA National Championship Runoffs. First car to qualify under 2 minutes. He's posted now 3 laps under that 2-minute mark. That threshold was under green flag conditions here. Remained under green, just a couple of issues with cars pulling off course.
Certainly has a new track record, no doubt about that.
D Sports Racer, a turbocharged Suzuki motor, has definitely been the headline maker.
Blinding speed. I mean, that car is really fast. A 58 around here is just enormous. And like I said, in testing, when it was warm. Last week was in the 80s here, upper 80s actually. That car ran a 55, I heard, with Colin Braun driving.
That'd be kind of cool. Hey, Doris, can you shake down my car for me? You know, maybe you can get that Monday gig. What do you think?
Like I say, Colin's dad is the engineer on this car, and he is a very talented guy. We've seen him, win championships in Grand Am, and of course went on to NASCAR and Cup, and showed well over there. Out of a ride right now. Final lap, 1 to go.
1 to go for Scott Tucker. That lap only 2 minutes 2 seconds in 2:02.5.
He's had traffic the last 2 laps, so I think that's what's held him up somewhat. Also, they would have told him on the radio, just bring it on home because there's nobody in the same county as you, like I said.
Tucker with a sizable lead. Running second is Lee Alexander. Tom Boots runs third. Greg Bell fourth. Jim Vogel fifth. Jim Holman in the 6th position. Richard Colburn soldiers on in 7th.
And now we hear reports of rain. Like I said, it was going to happen. You know what? This is a game changer. This car is a total game changer if you're a D Sports Racer, because with the speed it shows, it's obvious that I think the 670 turbo package is something you have to go to. It's not just aero in the car itself. I mean, I think that's a very potent combination that he's got right there.
And
watch
the
for
final
this rain.
few turns.
Yeah, because like I say, it could have rained really hard at one part of this 4.5 mile lap, and not so hard where he's at right now. You can see, but boy, it can catch you out. I know I've done it. I've done a couple races here where it's done that, rained off and on, and only in certain places on the racetrack.
The longest professional road course in North America. Road America hosts many different series: American Le Mans, Grand Am, NASCAR, Nationwide Series. 2 huge vintage festivals, and now the SCCA National Championship Runoffs for the 4th straight year. Next year is the 50th running. As we talked about in the beginning of our broadcast, and Dorsey, this is a clinic. Tucker has them covered.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That car's been like that all weekend long. This racetrack, if you're a road race car driver, this is where you want to come. There's nobody that doesn't like Road America. I mean, it's just the most awesome racetrack to race at. It's fun. The elevation changes and so forth. It's fast. You know, it's wide enough to be able to have passing room on other cars. One of my favorites.
Plus the sweet corn and the Sheboygan hard rolls and the brats. You know, that's part of it too.
You gain weight at this track. There's no doubt about that.
Well, Scott Tucker continues to be impressive here this week. He runs now to the finish line and collects the gold medal. His second of the SCCA National Championship Runoffs in 2012. His first in D Sports Racer, convincingly from pole. Scott Tucker, record setting on his way to victory. This is Lee Alexander now making his way through the Billy Mitchell Bend.
One turn to go. He will come up that hill for the checkered flag.
Alexander will back up his silver medal of a year ago with another silver medal. Great job by Alexander out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Southern Pacific champion will collect silver.
Taking a look at the flags around here, we're starting to get up a big wind too.
See moisture on our cameras as well, so it's starting to billow here a little bit, which will make it a challenge for the remaining competitors in classes ahead.
And for Biz on pit lane.
He's under that blanket, remember?
Oh yeah, he is under that blanket, isn't he? Hiding right now. I don't blame him.
Oh, that's great to see the wave by the competitors to all the corner workers and fans here at Road America, and a salute to them on their warm down lap.
Yep, acknowledge those corner crews. And here's a problem for someone. Down in turn 5, looked like he had a, oh, that's in Canada.
Greg Bell still trying to get to the checkered flag.
Had a little spin there, or a partial spin. That's the other thing about, you can see how wet it is right now.
Yes, definitely moisture affected that run to the finish him.
These cars are so light, they don't finish their spins off sometimes. They scrub themselves right down to a half a spin.
I'm laughing about it, but it's amazing how, you're right, it is, think about a 200-pound balance per tire. Nothing to them. And there's Tom Boots finishing third, that black car with the yellow accents coming out of frame. And indeed finishing on the rim, basically. The number 78, determined to finish. Dave Knack does just that.
Yep.
And Tom Boots will pick up the silver. Knack will finish in the 8th position.
Going to get his money's worth out of it.
Oh, yeah. Paid his entry fee. Why not? Greg Bell will finish fourth after that slight spin.
Notice no wing on the car like we talked about before. He got the wing knocked off early. So that's been an eventful day holding on to that car, I guarantee you.
There's Greg Bell running in the 4th spot to the finish line here in D Sports Racer. Good job by Greg. He had, again, that spin. That's got to be crazy when you're running that fast in that mindset. Then you've got moisture on the racetrack, and it's a whole handful from there.
Well, I'll tell you what it's going to do for our next race. It's going to make it really interesting which one comes up right behind us. You and I will be calling it in a minute, and it is going to get wet sooner or later here.
Jim Vogel finishes 5th in car number 54 out of Madison, Wisconsin. He just crossed the start-finish line in D Sports Racer. Got all 13 laps in. It started raining about a half a lap from the finish, we think.
They got away with it. They got underneath the wire because all they got was just that last lap, really. They had to contend with a little moisture down there in Canada. But it's going to come sooner or later.
From Overland Park, Kansas, 50-year-old Scott Tucker has won the D Sports Racer category. Qualified under 2 minutes, 3 laps in competition under 2 minutes, and indeed now, in his 6th chance at the runoffs, has recorded 4 gold medals.
Ed Zabinski gives him congratulations. Good competitor. He raced yesterday. Some races that we called. Had a good eventful race himself. Him and teammate Lance Stewart.
This is his 7th medal in 5 years of racing at the runoff.
5th gold medal, so 5-time national champion.
And there we see the threatening skies overhead of Elkhart Lakes, Road America, about an hour north of Milwaukee.
Looks like snow.
It's cold enough. That's not hail on the ground. Those are actually leaves on our high-def cameras. Hey, let's check in with John Bizignano on pit road. Hey, Biz.
Well, I'll tell you, there's so much congratulations and celebration going around here that it's hard to make it in between all the very congratulations, guys. Everybody, congratulations. What a great run. All right, gold medal number 2 for this weekend. Scott, God, you're nice and warm, buddy. I'll crawl in there with you for a second. Beautiful drive. You had to be happy with the crew, the car, everything that you've done to get your second gold medal, which is Bonnie going to put on you right now.
Yeah, I really owe it to the whole team. My job's the easy part. These guys, we worked on this for all year. We had a couple goals. One was to go under 2 minutes, and obviously the other one to win the race. And the big question was the reliability and all the development work that we've done. But really, it's all these guys. I get the easy part, but that's where it all goes right there.
You made it look easy. It's not all that easy. Now, when I left the booth, you were at 159.8. So congratulations on the fastest club racer in the history of Road America. What an achievement, seriously.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you.
And you did that on Hoosier tires, may I say. Yes.
Hoosiers. That's right, yeah. Great tire. Worked all year on the development of this, and the car ran great. It got a little tricky there at the end. It was getting wet, and these cars are pretty unforgiving in the wet. So luckily we made it through. But really, my hat's off to the guys for really prepping the car and making sure it was ready to go. And we achieved a lot of big things with this thing this year that we set out to do.
Let me ask you about the motor, the twin turbo. I mean, who did the work on the engine for you?
It's Rick Kipley, our engine guy. Yeah, in-house. That's right. Yeah.
Well, congratulations once again. I just think might have some buyers for that motor if you're going to sell them. Okay, congratulations, Scott. Well, moving back to second place, man, maybe someone who won the B race, if you can say, with the non-turbocharged engine. Congratulations on a nice silver medal, my gosh, Lee, but are you going to be out looking for a turbocharged motor over the winter?
I think we're all going to have to do that now. Scott's going to keep coming back because we had nothing for him in terms of top speed, huh? But it was fun, dueling with Chris and Lawrence on the opening laps. I'm not quite sure what happened down into 5 there, but I just got on the inside of him and then I didn't see him in my mirror. So at that point, it was just try to be consistent and not do anything dumb,
The class has to change if you're going to be competitive. Either there has to be a restriction up front, or you guys are going to have to step up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's an expensive class to begin with, So I guess we'll figure out what to do. We'll work it out somehow.
Sure you will. Congratulations on that great silver medal, and over to, of course, our bronze medal, Tom Boots. Tom was a bit of a lonely man out on the track, but Tom, here we are again, my friend. Congratulations on another great drive and another medal. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. It seems the 4th engine did well.
The 4th engine, well, that's your lucky number, engine number 4. How much does that cost to have 4 engines on a weekend?
I have a feeling my wife's watching, so we probably just won't go.
Let's keep that between us, Now, at the end, it was getting a little bit wet out there. Where was the track the wettest? We had a light sprinkle here in the pits. This track is 4.5 miles around. Was it wetter any place else?
It was getting pretty wet back in Canada in turn 12. I spun there.
Just where you don't want it to get wet.
Yeah, I did a 360 there and did a 360 in one. So.
Dorsey, he aged another 10 years just in 2 spins out there. Congratulations on a great bronze.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Back to that nice warm booth, you guys.
Thanks, Biz.
Well, if Scott Tucker did not have enough already on his plate, he's going to get a free GoPro camera because the GoPro hero move of the race was his ability to post a 1:59.964 lap. That is the fastest lap in club history under race conditions. Congrats to Scott on a fine job.
Yeah, there's no denying that, and that's a game changer. That car, that engine combination, you just heard it right there. That's what rewriting the record book right there.
And indeed, he talked about how squirrely it was in the final few corners, but he had the lead. He had padded his margin quite a bit over Alexander and Boots. We just heard from our medal winners. Greg Bell will finish 4th, Jim Bogle 5th. And boy, in terms of competition, Scott Tucker came in here with one thing in mind. He mentioned developing it all year long, so he could have been toying and playing. I mean, he didn't win every race he entered this year. He had three wins, 4 podium finishes out of the Atlanta region, but in the Southeast Division, it was only good enough for 5th in the overall standing. So there's a lot of competition. He must have just been kind of finding one thing here, finding one thing there, and putting it all together.
Scott Tucker's Level 5 Racing is a pro racing organization bar none. I mean, he's got Formula One engineers working for him there, so it's quite amazing. No surprise, Scott Tucker wins at a 59.684.
684, yes. That's the record lap that we gave him the GoPro Hero Move of the Race for. These are the best laps, and this is how they finished. Lee Alexander is second. 202 is nothing to sneeze at when it comes to D-Sports racing. Tom Boots third. The gold, silver, and bronze medalists top three on the screen. We mentioned Greg Bell, Jim Vogel, your top five. Jim Hallman soldiered on to a sixth-place run. Seventh at the finish was Richard Colburn, one lap down. Dave Knack, Matt Graham, and Chris Farrell. Farrell was the one that lost the rear wing. He did stay on course.
Yep,
his best lap was 208. He's running about 239s, 240s once that wing fell off.
He got more driving per mile than anybody else with no wing on, I guarantee you.
And that's how they finished up out of the 10 cars that raced here in the D Sports Race, or 13 actually, on the entry list. And unfortunately for the cars like Farrell and Loshak, I told you how fragile these cars are indeed. That played out for them in the worst possible way with mechanical issues. The headlines were made at the beginning of the week by Scott Tucker, going under 2 minutes in qualifying. He backed it up in the race under 2 minutes, and this is how the race began: under bright sunshine, ended under rain, but that was Tucker's advantage, really a foretelling sign. This was the move here. Farrell spins, Loshak runs into him. Both cars retire with mechanical issues, and Farrell did continue on, but nobody had anything for Scott Tucker here at D Sports Racer. I'm Jim Trado on behalf of Dorsey Schrader and John Bizignano. Thanks for joining us. Catch you next time.
This portion of the SCCA Runoffs is being brought to you by Mazda, Zoom Zoom, and by Blackmagic Car Care Products.
The Mazda 3, a top safety pick with uncompromised performance. And now it's even more fuel efficient with available SkyActiv technology. We build Mazdas. What do you drive? Now get the Mazda 3 with 0.9% APR for a limited term.
Need help?
Yeah. Well, my ride's been losing power and gas mileage, and I've been thinking about grabbing...
That's thinking with your motorhead. Gum-Out products are backed by science, real science, so they help improve performance, increase fuel efficiency, and protect key engine parts. It's not clean until it's Gum-Out clean. Bring it in. Think with your motorhead. Choose Gum-Out, available at these fine retailers.
Okay, it's time to face facts. You're a gearhead. You treat the freeway on-ramp like your own personal racetrack, and you love the smell of burning rubber. Well, good news, Speed Junkie. The Sports Car Club of America wants you. With 40,000 members and 2,000 events across the country, the SCCA has all the wheel-spinning, engine-revving excitement you can handle. Want to dance on the edge of control? In SCCA Solo, you'll learn the blacktop two-step with an army of cones trying to trip you up. If slinging mud is your thing, check out SCCA Rallycross, where power slides and rooster tails are the name of the game. And if wheel-to-wheel competition is what you crave, SCCA Club Racing lets you chase the checkered flag on America's toughest racetracks. Join the Sports Car Club of America today and feed your obsession.